Hello everyone, welcome to the video. In this one I want to talk about underrated fish. Let's get into it. Roll that intro. Now if you've been keeping aquariums for a little while, chances are you've kept most of the hobby classics. You know, neon tetras and angelfish and corridoras and platies and those types of fish. And they're great fish and they're hobby classics for a reason, but generally speaking, after a little while, people want to keep things that are a little bit more unique or unusual or maybe underappreciated. Enter underrated fish. These species are really wonderful in their own rights, but for one reason or another, they're not as frequently kept as other species in the hobby. For example, maybe the species doesn't, color up nicely in the store, and it's only once you actually get it home or later in its life that it starts to show its true, beautiful colors. Maybe it has somewhat special care requirements, and so people just in general kind of pass on it to go with another easier, more manageable species. Maybe it's just less frequently imported, and so there's less opportunity to purchase and keep it. And so, if you find yourself in a position looking for a slightly more underrated fish to keep in your aquarium, well, the following are 4 groups of fish that I think are underrated, that deserve more attention, that should be kept more frequently, because they're great. Let's get into it. Number 1 on our list are loaches. Loaches are catfish that are great for medium to large aquariums. They're kind of like puppies. They have these weird, bizarre, quirky behaviors. They make a loud clicking noise that you can hear outside of the aquarium. They sleep in really weird spots, like wedged up between decor ornaments or just on their side on the substrate. They are hardy and undemanding and quite long-lived. They need to be kept in groups. They have complex social hierarchies. And they need a fairly large aquarium with lots of decor for them to kind of swim in and out of. Some people consider them semi-aggressive. I've never seen any aggression out of them. I think that the aggression is probably just more intimidation because they are quite large and they swim around like maniacs around the aquarium. They can kind of scare some of the smaller, shyer species. Or if you keep them in too small of a tank, then aggression can come out. But that's common in a lot of aquarium fish. They're a wonderful addition to a community aquarium with slightly larger fish, bigger tetras, angelfish, gouramis, that sort of thing. They add a lot of action to the tank. They kind of race around at 100 miles an hour. They're a lot of fun. Definitely underrated, definitely should be kept more frequently, and deserving of the first spot on our list of underrated fish. Number 2 on our list of underrated fish are shell dwellers. Now, if you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, which you should do, links in the description below, you'll see that we post about these guys quite a bit. We definitely love them. We actually have a separate species spotlight video all about the ones we have here at the office, Neolamprolagus brevis, the Brevis shell dwellers. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. Shell dwellers are a fantastic group of fish. They stay quite small, unlike a lot of other cichlids, so you get all of that cichlid personality, but in a small format that you can keep in a somewhat smaller aquarium. They have pretty complex social hierarchies. They'll kind of argue and squabble with each other, but they won't ever really hurt each other the way a lot of other African cichlids do. They're a fascinating, busy group of fish. They're constantly working on their homes and renovating and moving sand around and moving the shells around and stuff. And they're quite easy to care for. They don't have that complex care requirements. The average person can very easily meet their needs. So definitely underrated. There's a lot of African cichlids that are kept in the hobby, but shell dwellers as a group, you see a lot less frequently, and that's a shame. They should be more popular. Number 3 on our list are killifish. Now, in a lot of cases, people will say that the most beautiful fish in the fish keeping hobby are marine fish, saltwater fish. Killifish have something to say about that. They are an absolutely gorgeous group of fish, and they have an amazing diversity, so there's so much variation in what you can keep. They're, in general, broadly speaking, pretty easy to care for, and as they are quite small, they're suitable for smaller aquariums, which is great. We recently posted a video from our friend Gary Elson, who gave us an introduction and an overview of the Ophiosimian genus of killifish, so if you're interested in learning more about them, definitely check out that video. Some species of killifish only live for about a year. They're annual species, but there are other ones that live quite a bit longer. If you do keep killifish, it's important to not crossbreed the different species. We want to make sure we maintain the integrity of each individual species as much as possible. But yeah, they're definitely very underrated in my opinion. They're not difficult to care for, and you have some of the most incredibly beautiful fish in the freshwater hobby available. The last group of fish on our list, number 4, are bettas. Now I know what you're thinking, Betta splendens, that's the single most commonly kept aquarium fish in the world. They're so popular, everyone knows what a betta is. Absolutely, I agree, but there are 74 other species of bettas that are also very beautiful and deserve our attention, and we almost never see them in the hobby. There's an incredible variety available in all of these other betta species. There's big, imposing species like Betta macrostoma who will come right up to the glass and challenge you to a fight. Bettahendra, absolutely beautiful species. Their eyes almost glow and pop in the dark. There's species like Bettachanoids, which are fairly easy to breed, and you can watch the really cool process of them doing so. A lot of these fish are very easy to care for. They don't need too much space. You know, they're not any more difficult to care for than the average tropical fish. Just given the popularity of one individual species of this entire genus, I would argue that maybe these ones are the most underrated fish in the hobby because you almost never see them at all. And that is it, guys. That's our list. Now, obviously, there's a lot more underrated fish out there, but those are 4 groups of fish that are pretty high on my list and that are reasonably accessible, so the average person can go out and purchase them and bring them home to their aquarium. I'd love to know what you think. You know, what underrated fish are out there? Which groups of fish or species deserve more attention? You know, what did you think of our list? So comment down below, let us know. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like. If you're new around here, subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.